All right, goddesses, let's talk a little bit more about holistic skincare, especially as we age. I turned 40 this last year, and I'm definitely noticing a change in my skin. But I feel like I've been able to keep on top of it pretty easily with just a few simple techniques. One of my favorite things to do for holistic skincare while I'm aging is a once a week or so rice scrub. And that's just ground up white rice. Organic is preferable, but use what you've got. And either just mixing, so grinding it to a fine powder, and either just mixing it with water or adding some honey, or there's a variety of herbs that you can add depending on your skin condition. But just doing a basic rice scrub, ground up white rice and water can make a big difference. We do pay a lot of money for microdermabrasion, and it has a pretty similar technique in removing some of the fine lines and removing dead skin that builds up on our face and neck and décolletage. So that's one of my favorites, and I just did that, so you can see I've got oil on afterwards, and that's the other thing that I really love to do. And I do an oil cleanse most days. When I go to take my shower, I'll put my oil blend on my face and massage it in, sometimes doing cupping, sometimes doing blading or blasting or self-massage, and then I'll buff it off. And I see an amazing difference every time I do that. I'll also do self-massage through the day, focusing on areas where I know there's buildup, up here in the chewing muscle where we get TMJ issues. That can actually really strongly affect our skin health, making sure that we drain the lymphatic system through the neck and chest so that our head can drain, we don't get fluid buildup. So there's all kinds of things that you can do at home with ease if you just know how to do them. So what I'm going to do today is just show you a really basic routine using just a couple simple tools. And this is a good routine for any skin that is, I would say, dry, mature. If you have a lot of acne, there are some other protocols that would probably be better. But if you just get mild hormonal acne around your chin, this is excellent as well. And of course, there's all kinds of other things we can do to balance that out. So if you do struggle with hormonal acne, definitely give me a message and we'll get that sorted out for you. So for facial, neck, and décolletage skin, what we want to do is release any muscle tension that we can, drain any fluids and to allow circulation, and to break up any adhesions. So if you've been watching my videos, you've heard me talk a lot about fascial care. There's fascial care and there's facial care. So we're doing both, facial, fascial care. We're working with the connective tissue, making sure that it is smooth and even throughout the head and neck. And so that not only will support your skin as it matures, it will support brain function, memory, it will help relieve headaches, and TMJ stuff, which I talked about, all kinds of things, sinus issues, ear issues, we can work with through myofascial health, through nutrition and herbal care. But today we're just going to focus on the top layer of the skin. And so I have a couple different cups here. I have a whole other introductory cupping video that you can watch to learn more about how to use these on the body and kind of the basics about them. So I definitely recommend watching that if you're interested. These are the smaller versions, the facial versions. This one I got for free with another larger silicone set. And I don't actually use it all that often. I don't find that it stays on all that well, but it's good in a pinch. And so you just squeeze it, create a seal, and let go. The thing about the face and cupping is you don't want to leave these on for very long. Some people having them in one spot for just a couple seconds creates redness. And 10 seconds can create a redness that lasts for a day or so. If you leave them on for a minute or longer, sometimes you'll get a mark that can last for a couple days. So just something to be aware of. When I first started doing it, I put it on here and I left it on for a while. And here, I'll leave it on for a little bit so you can see that pretty quickly it will create a discoloration that can last. So you just want to be aware of that. It shouldn't last longer than a couple days, but if you do get dark marks because you have, poor circulation and you leave them on for a while, it can create some darkness. It's actually a good thing. It shows that you're getting things moving, but it's, if you don't want that, you need to be cautious. The thing to note about cupping and the face is we're generally wanting to move upward. We're not wanting to pull the skin down. We're encouraging the skin to lift. And what cupping does for the skin is help to encourage collagen development. So it's basically strengthening the skin. As we age, our collagen production declines, especially with poor nutrition and hormonal imbalance. If we have a lot of inflammation, there's a process called lysation, which creates crosslinks in the skin or in the connective tissue below the skin, which allows it to, or keeps it from being in good condition. So there's, we really, for optimal skin health, especially as we age, want to think about the 5 pillars that I talk about, nutrition, herbal care, fascial health, posture and movement, mindset therapy, herbal care, yeah. So anyways, with the cups, we're gently popping it on and slowly sliding it up. Now I have oil that I've rubbed my hands together so it's dispersed well, and then I've smoothed a thin layer over my face, kind of worked it in with circles a little bit. And just working the circles on your skin while you're lifting up can actually be a great technique as well. You can circle down gently in your neck, circle up for your face. But when you're doing the cupping on your jawline, you're just following it up, popping it off, and going again. And it just takes a few times. So you can already see some nice pink there. That's just the circulation coming back. It's been, I'd say, a couple weeks, maybe even 3, since I've done a nice deep facial skincare session. I usually do once or twice a week, but I've been really busy. And then I decided I wanted to kind of let things build up so you could see the transformation. So if you go back and look in some of the earlier videos that I've posted, that shows my skin before or in the middle of not doing a treatment. So I'm gonna do the other side, and you're just spending about 30 seconds per side. So this is something you could even do every day if you really want to make a big difference. If you have a big event coming up and you're really wanting to tone and tighten, or you've just noticed a lot of aging and you're really feeling uncomfortable in your skin, you can definitely do it daily. Just do it short periods of time. You can get the jawline. The jawline you can move up, slide up and down a little bit. The jawline is going to be more about breaking up the kind of wattle area. The connective tissue tends to get built up, especially when we have a lot of restrictions in our throat, when we have held back things that we maybe wanted to say and didn't feel like it was safe. It will also build up when we're in a head forward position, such as when we're staring at screens a lot, working on computers, driving, things like that. So it's great you can get in and kind of pinch. When we go over blading, I'll show how to work on that as well. You can use the cups on your chest. I already have a lot of redness on my chest, and that is sun damage from when I was little. And I'm trying a lot of things to work through that. And I've noticed a lot of this is also related to anxiety. So if you do have a lot of chest redness and anxiety, that could be partially why. It's just the inflammation in the chest. But doing cupping over the area will actually release some of that heat. So So I'm just going up and down gently. I'm not using a strong section. So I wanted to show you the other cup that I have for my facial skin. I actually have a number of these glass bottom cups here. And these are the ones that I prefer. They are about $50 for a set, so they're more expensive, but they're easier to clean. And if you want to use them on a number of people, or even more than just yourself, I recommend getting a set of these. So we're doing the same thing, just squeezing on and sliding up. This tends to get a little bit more suction, so you just want to be careful. You don't want to pull the skin out too much. See, that caused a lot of redness there already. So when we have a stronger section, we'll get more redness more quickly. And I prefer this because I really like working on my jaw a lot. I tend to get a good amount of tension, and that can affect the way we sleep, the way we talk, the way we move. So just making sure to balance both sides. With cupping, you don't want to do underneath the eye. Anywhere around the eye essentially, is the skin is very delicate. So you just want to kind of avoid that area. You can do the temples though. You can kind of pop it on and off. You can slide up and down if you can get it. If you have a very round forehead, it can be difficult to slide the cup all the way, but you can just do little bits. You can do your third eye. Just don't leave it on for too long. I have done that before and basically looked like I lost a fight with an octopus. But you can go up and down. Usually feels really good, relieves a lot of tension. This is great if you have frontal headaches, but also is helpful for tension headaches because the pathway that runs through the base of the head wraps over the skull and attaches right over the eyes. So relieving tension here will relieve tension there and vice versa. And we go deeper into self-care for headaches using these therapies and nutritional and herbal and a lot of other things in the Happy Head course. So, and we do go more into skincare and facial skincare in that course as well. So we're just giving the basics today. Fun thing that you can do, help kind of plump up the lips, squeeze the bulb, make a seal. Leave it on. You can leave it on for 30 seconds or so. You can do that right before an event if you want to kind of plump them up. My lips tend to be quite thin, so I don't get a lot of plump, but if you have thicker lips already, use this for a little bit. You can see a pretty big difference as it increases the circulation to the lips. The other tool that I really like to use for skincare is a scraping tool. And I have somehow miraculously lost all of my main scraping tools. But what's really nice is that you can find things around the house that you can use. You just need something with a not sharp edge, a slightly rounded edge that's smooth that you can rub across your skin. So this is actually a pendant, one of my favorite pendants, and I use it kind of spur of the moment sometimes for scraping. And you're doing the same thing, just going up, helping to build the collagen. But with these, you can actually go across the muscle to help break up any microscopic scar tissue that has built up due to tension. And this is helpful for a number of reasons. When we have scar tissue embedded in the muscle, it can prevent the muscle from contracting and releasing fully, which we know is needed for health. It can decrease circulation, which we know is important for brain health as well as skin health. And it can just create pain. It can create dysfunction. And so it's important if we do have dysfunction in a muscle to make sure that the scar tissue is broken up. 30 seconds to a minute on each area maximum. You don't need to do a lot. If you do too much, too hard, it can cause bruising, and we don't want that, especially on our face. So working lightly, staying away from the eyes, careful over the bones, and we also don't want to scrub or really cup too much on the cheek pads because that can actually start to break down the fat. It's great that it can break down fat because that means that we can break down fat on other areas of our body, but we want to keep our cheek pads as much as possible. That being said, if you have really chubby cheeks and you would like to break it down a little bit, I would focus on sculpting the sides. So we can use cupping and bleeding or blasting to sculpt. We can sculpt the jawline, we can sculpt the cheekbones, we can even sculpt around the nose a little bit, working with the cartilage. So there's a lot that we can do with these techniques. You just have to know how to do it. And so I've shown you the basics today. If you want to get a set of cups, I can send you the link. I'll post the link below. And I'll also post a link for a special blading tool. You can get either one. You can find really inexpensive versions, or you can go a little higher end. That is up to you. They're both functional. You can even find blading tools. You can use a ring from a mason jar lid, or a spaghetti sauce jar, or you can use a Chinese soup spoon. They used to use coins in China when they had big flat coins with rounded edges. So you can get creative with it. But knowing the techniques is one of the most important things. So if you want to know more about specific techniques for your condition of skin, you definitely want to let me know, and I will get you set up with the course. We can do an assessment, or if we know specifically what you need, we can get you going right away. And I'm going to come back and do another blurb on a special tool called the Face Blaster, which is one of my favorite tools and the one that I tend to use most frequently, except that I lost mine this last week. So I'm ordering a new one. So as soon as I get it, I'll come back on and do a special segment on that. But for now, get some cups, get a blading tool, and start practicing, because your skin will definitely thank you.